Assalamualaikum.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Since both of you have the experience of working as QA technician, then I guess I don't have to ask about the job scope anymore.
Yes, sure, sir.
Okay, sure.
Let us start the interview. Can you name me a time when your advice to management led to an improvement in your company or otherwise help your employer?
Sir, may I begin by answering your first question?
Yes, you may start.
Okay, first thing first, let me introduce myself. I'm Mohammad Arif. I have an experience of 3 years of working as a QA as a technician before this. So my experience has given me the chance to help my employer by giving an advice to recruit more fresh graduates in order to improve more ideas and more production to the company. And this has helped the company to gain more income for the year that I have working in that company. So that's my experience.
Oh, sorry. Okay. As for my answer, first of all, my name is Ahmad Al-Zarif. I'm from the previous company, which is Tan Sweat company Berhad. And for me, during my previous company, our company productivity and production went down because of the recent pandemic, which is COVID-19. My company just focused on the big corporate company and checking just the system inside those company, like the air ventilation system and the business around there. So I advise the management of my previous company to focus more on the smaller ones and shops around the streets to make sure my company's productivity and profit went up again. We expected equipment such as oven and air ventilation system in bakeries, for example. That's my answer. Thank you.
All right, let us move on to the second question. Can you share an experience that you had dealt with a difficult person or how you handled the situation?
Okay, to answer that question, before this, during my working time, I have been dealing with a bipolar, um, subordinate. So it's hard to control that co-worker because he has been missing in action for quite a while, and it has disrupted the teamwork. And how I do this, I then talk to him personally, and I managed to give him some solution in order for him to deal with his personal problem. And this has resulted into a better teamwork in my experience.
How about you?
Okay, once I had to deal with a person who had the hearing trouble, and it took the longest time for me to deal with the customer as far and as long as I worked there. It took about maybe like 2 hours, I guess, more or less. I carefully and gently asked again and again in case that person didn't hear enough or didn't understand enough. And I would make sure my answer and my services satisfy him. The deal was successfully, and he is one of our loyal clients for years after that.
Right, thank you.
Anything else you'd like to ask us, sir?
So let's move on to the question, which is, should you share an example of time you had to gather information from multiple sources, and how did you determine which information was relevant?
May I start first?
Yeah, you may.
Okay, the information that were relevant here were from this, the words by mouth of the client itself and their subordinates or their representative for when they were coming to our companies. I personally will appoint a meeting with the client for time to time to ask about the equipments or anything that involved in our job to inspect, that we need some guidance to work upon. For example, like the story that I told you before, for the bakeries, we didn't have enough information to inspect about the bakery's equipment. So we asked for the owner itself and for where that the owner buy orders, and we just have a meeting for to get to know more about that equipment. Besides that, we have the info provider from various company that we close to, so it can help us to maintain and increase our quality in work. That's all for me.
Thank you. What about you?
You can look just now. So may I ask you to repeat the question again?
Yeah, about the question where can you share an example of a time you had to gather information from multiple sources and how did you determine which information was relevant?
It appears that the other candidates have a trouble connection, so pardon him.
Okay. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes?
Yes. Continue.
Okay, sorry, I have a connection problem just now. So
Is
in
it-
order to determine the relevancy of information, usually I will ensure where the sources come from. So I will make sure that the source provider is credible enough and they have like done a, done a, an enough research in order for like education background for them to determine that they have the credibility.
Sure.
Okay, now can you tell us a little bit about yourself? Tell us about your strength and what do you think is your weaknesses?
So may I start?
Okay.
Uh, okay.
No.
For my strength, usually I'm a teamwork and I'm quite friendly with my co-workers. So this has helped me to ensure the harmony in my working environment. Also, I'm quite punctual when it comes to working time, and this can help the company to achieve better results in the future. So when it comes to weakness, uh, usually I have a problem to say no when people ask for my help. So this could result to a piling of my workload. So I guess I will just have to change a little bit on that in order for me to improve for the company.
Yes, yes, you should. And what about you?
For me, my strength is I am not afraid to to ask other people to improve myself. I always ask people, is there any quality that I might lack of, and how to improve myself based on that, because I want to maintain the quality of the company that set off, and I want to make sure that everyone who is happy with my services. And for my weakness is the time punctuality, because I have a quite a hard time uh, manage this kind of problem. I always wake up late and kind of like procrastinate. So what I did do is I set up the timetable and some self reward if I reach the objective. For example, like be punctual, stay up, uh, wake up sooner than later, and it helps me to be more punctual in that.
Thank you. So move on to the fifth question, which, in your experience, what is the key to developing a good team?
Either one of you may
Uh,
start.
okay, if I may start first. Okay. Um, so for the question, which is the key to developing a good team,
Yes.
in my I in my point of view, I think the key to the key to developing a good team is commitment, cooperation, and good communication. Because commitment, basically, you have to like you didn't give up halfway. You must finish your job. Because if you didn't finish your job, your company will be in deep trouble. And for good communication, because you want to maintain the healthy relationship between the co-workers, between the higher ups, it can create, it can bring the quality of the work and the company much more higher. And for cooperation as well, because without cooperation, we cannot we cannot create a good result in the team.
Thank you. So move on to the sixth question, where what are some long-range objectives that you developed in your last job, and what did you do to achieve them?
May I start first?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, my long range objective in my last job is to become the man that can handle any situations at any kind of level of stress. And I believe I achieved it because I practice my way of talking with the other co-workers and my higher ups in order to create a good relationship between me and them and learn how to work efficiently, because my strength is to always ask people and ask others what is my quality and how do I improve it in case I have some weaknesses. And because of that, with the help of my teammates also, we achieve our quality results together. Okay.
Okay, thank you. Let us proceed with Hafiz with the next question.
Okay, let us move on to the next question.
Sure.
I'm sorry. Let us move on to the next question. Can you provide us an experience that demonstrate your ability to manage time effectively? Like you said, you had problem being punctual. So can you tell us what were the challenges and what is the result of your experience?
Okay. If I may start first. Basically, these weaknesses, which is punctuality, have bestowed upon me since forever, and I took like a long and hard work in order to overcome this problem. And it was hard because this my weakness have let me down so many times. So for the sake of myself and for the job and for the company, the teammates that helped me, the higher ups that always supported me, I managed to overcome it with my methods, which is a put a timetable as the students always practice. uh, if you heard about it, basically, like timetables for like 7 a.m. Wake up, and like basically I put myself in a very systematic order in order to help overcome my challenges or my weaknesses, which is a punctuality. And Alhamdulillah, I can overcome it, and the result is I am one of the best workers there. I have achieved and received best employee of the month for like 6 consecutive times, and I also help my company achieve better quality standard.
Okay, thank you. So, what is your expected salary if you are working with us?
Because my previous company is when I was just an internship for in my previous company. So I just received 1,500. So my expected salary I won't ask much, about maybe like 2,300 or so. For my beginner salary, I think it's fine for me. Yeah, I have no other commitments beside my job and myself since I was single. So I think with 2,300 can help me a lot.
Okay.
Okay. So are you willing to work all the time or out of station? Let's say we send you somewhere for a project. What will you say about that?
Like I said before, I have no other commitments beside myself and and my job. So I think I am willing to work overtime if I get paid for that overtime that I took. And for outstation, I actually pretty looking forward because I can see new places, I can see new faces, new people, I can know them, I can get to know the environment beside here and beside the company. So I think it will broaden my perspective and my view as a worker and also as a human being.
All right. So, for the last question, if you are not hired for this job, what is your plan after this?
If I am not hired for this job, my plan after this is just working on my small businesses, which is the selling my bags and some, we call it cookies also can, and just helping my parents because my parents are in old age. So I think I will put all most of the time helping my parents in their daily basis, and also in the meantime to get more money I just proceed with my small businesses. Okay.
Right. I think that's all for today's interview, and thank you for your time. So we will contact both of you in 3 days' time if you have been accepted to work with us. So that's all.
Okay,
Thank
sir.
you.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.